Hi, welcome back. Steve Smith. We're continuing the compound effect. And this is chapter 2 we're going to be digging into. So, I hope you're enjoying the book. I hope you bought it and you're going through it and highlighting it like I suggest. If you're not, if you're just enjoying the videos, I think that's great. But it's nice to touch, see, and feel the book and highlight in it. Plus, really what you need to do, which I love what they did in the beginning of the book. This book has been given to blank because I care about you and your greater success. So I think this is my 3rd or 4th copy because I've been giving them away, especially to friends and coworkers that kind of hit a slump. It's easy to do to help them find their path. So again, here we go. Chapter 2. It's called Choices. And he starts with talking about in life, we end up with a accumulation of all the choices we make. And you think, man, geez, I don't know if I chose to have a crappy job or no money or a crappy house or whatever you're doing to be better. It was a choice or a series of choices that got you there. It's amazing. I don't know what book I was reading, but they talked about the percentage of your day that you do every activity. For example, what percentage of your day do you invest in your health? I mean, if you go to the gym, how long are you going? Are you going for an hour? You going for 2 hours? 2 hours and 40 minutes, would that be 10% of your day? So think about it. What percentage of your day are you investing in your health, in your wealth, in your career, in your family, in your kids? Think about that. So those are all choices. Don't choose at all. If you're not choosing at all, you've actually made a choice to be a passive receiver of what comes your way. I thought that was powerful. And you need to think about your choices and you need to weigh the risks and potential outcomes. A lot of stuff that we do is insignificant. Okay, so look, I'm not editing this stuff. I am going right from reading to posting. I'm not an editor. This is not what I'm doing for a living. I love helping other people, and I'm not perfect. So I'm gonna make mistakes just like everybody else. It's time to wake up and make empowering choices, he says. Now, here's a great story. Thanksgiving year round, it's called. So to kind of recap what happened is Darren decided to do a diary of every day the things his wife does that makes him happy. Maybe she made a delicious meal. She made the bed. Anything she does that he's thankful for, he logs it in this diary. And the following Thanksgiving, he gave it to her. He said she cried, calling it the best gift she's ever received. He said doing that journaling every day focused him to all his wife's positive aspects. That's powerful. He said he fell deeply in love with her all over again. It caused him to show up differently in his marriage, and it even gave him more things to write. So, hey, if you're in a relationship, do it. Consider doing it. Do a journal every day of what that person does to make you happy, or the little things why you love them, and give it to them for Thanksgiving. Fantastic idea. You can even do this with your kids. I mean, imagine connecting with your kids that way. Totally cool. Owning stuff 100%. What percentage of shared responsibility do you have in making a relationship work? What percent? Right? Relationships, 2 people. What percent is your responsibility? If you were thinking what I was thinking, 50%, right? Me 50, them 50. Guess what? If you said 50, we're all wrong. He said 100%. 100%. If you're not committing 100%, you're left to chance. And that could be a disaster. Getting lucky. Now this is really important to me because people talk about luck all the time. You know, I was lucky to get this job. I was lucky to get this promotion. But you know what? Chances are you prepared for that. Chances are you had the right attitude for it. And when that opportunity came your way, you took action and you did it. That's the recipe of luck. It's pretty cool. I actually had this typed up and hanging on my wall. Anyone that's worked for me probably saw it. The complete formula for getting lucky. Number 1, preparation. You got to be prepared. Number 2, attitude, the belief and mindset. Number 3, the opportunity. That way, when a good thing comes your way, you can take action. You can do something about it. So, you know, this is powerful stuff. I think you can use this in any aspect of your life. Financial, health, even a little thing like running. You know, I've been committed to running 5 miles every morning. I know this is only day 4, but that's okay. I'm going to stick with it for 21 days to make a habit. And in order for me to make that goal of mine happen, right? It's a goal. I want to get lucky and commit to this goal. What do I need to do? I need to prepare for it. So I need to get up every day at the same time. I need to put my sneakers on and I need to drive to the trail. Attitude. Some days I don't have the attitude. Like today was hard. But you know what I did? I helped myself get into the attitude and mindset with music. I picked some upbeat, good running music, and that got my attitude right. The opportunity came my way because I did it, and the action, I did something about it. So I'm going to continue doing that and continue working on that. The high price of tuition at UHK. What's UHK? The University of Hard Knocks. Pretty cool. So he talks about expecting what you inspect. Another great quote. I don't know who wrote it, but for sure, especially if you're in the car business and any other business, you got to inspect what you expect. If you expect people to do something, you got to follow up and see if they're doing it. I mean, that's how we manage people. Today is graduation day. From this day forward, choose to be 100% responsible for your life. Kind of like he was talking about his journal with his relationship, thinking, hey, it's 50% me. My relationship's going to be 50% of me. And if the other person gives 0, then what? It's by chance. Well, guess what? Be 100% responsible for everything in your life. Great advice. The first step to change is awareness. You need to know where you are, where you want to be to get there. He says, to help you become aware of your choices, I want you to track every action that relates to the area in life you want to improve, which I think is a great idea. For example, he talks about if you want to get out of debt, track every penny. And if you want to lose weight, track everything you put in your mouth. Carry around a small notebook and log everything. It's that simple. But you know what? The things that are simple to do are also simple not to do. That's a big thing. Think about that. It's simple to do, but it's also simple not to do. So you really gotta make it happen. You need to write the why. We talked about in the previous chapter, writing the why. Like, why do I want to have more money? Why do I want this job? Why do I want to lose weight? Why do I want to run 5 miles every day? If you don't have that why, you're not going to do it, because when the simple choice comes to do it, you're going to say, oh, I don't need to do it. So the magic, he says, is doing the simple things repeatedly long enough to ignite the miracle of the compound effect. Very powerful stuff. Okay, he has a really good story in here about a secretary that you got to read. I'm not going to talk about it because, you know, there's got to be, you know, I want you to buy the book and enjoy it like I did. So it's pretty incredible. Anyway, keep tracking everything. It's just amazing what's going to happen. And it goes on and on and on about tracking different scenarios and if you track things, how your life's going to improve. So to wrap up the chapter, we're getting towards the end of the chapter, but he talks about a horse wins a race by a nose, but gets 10 times the prize money. Is the horse 10 times faster? No. But I bet those extra laps around the track, the extra discipline in the horse's nutrition, the extra work by the jockey, all made the results slightly bit better with compounding rewards. So that's incredible. I mean, he talks about golfers the same way, The difference between the number 1 ranked golfer and the number 10 is an average of 0.32 strokes. But the prize money is double, 9.6 million for the number 1 golfer and 4.6 for the number 10. Give me some of that 4.6. But seriousness, do you think that person did double the work? I don't know. I would say if you're the number 10 golfer, you're doing a lot of work. So the percent of error is really slim. That's the point here, okay? Just seeing if I missed anything, and I did not. Okay, let's quick recap it. All right, we want to recap so we can put the compound effect to work for you. Look at what areas or situations in your life that you struggle with and start journaling all of them. Keep a journal for each one. By the way, you can go to the dollar store and get notebooks. Big, small, $1. Don't let anything stop you. You don't have a $25 notebook. Don't let anything stop you. Journal everything and stick with it. Don't stop after a week. Where in your life are you not taking 100% of your responsibility? Same thing. List those things and list the why. Start tracking at least one behavior in your life you'd like to change and improve. Whether it's money, nutrition, fitness, all that stuff. Keep tracking and keep tracking and keep tracking. So, awesome. Hope you enjoyed chapter 2 with me. Can't wait to talk about, oh, by the way, I know, the beard's gone and I got the mustache. I don't know how long the mustache is going to stay, but I like to keep things fresh. So I hope you have a great day, and I can't wait to look at chapter 3 with you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.